Hello everybody! It's time for me to come clean. When I started this channel, I had been on vacation. It was a fairly long vacation. And I started One Piece. This was because I had been told by so many people, One Piece is amazing. I would see on BookTube so many people say, One Piece is amazing. For example, Murphy Napier. I've been subbed to her for about 2 years now, and 3 years maybe? I don't know. I haven't kept track of it. It was COVID. But when I subscribed to her channel, I saw that she was doing One Piece at some point, or that she started doing One Piece. And eventually, when she did separate her channels, she just did One Piece on one of her channels, essentially. It was mostly One Piece on her manga channel. And I was like, huh, what's so special about this thing? And then a couple months later, one of my best friends, he tells me I'm on episode 537 of One Piece. And I go, is it that special? I'm here to tell you that he was right. He was so right. And I don't know. I cannot tell you why I can tell you why I pushed it off for so long. It looked so long. It was an 1100 episode behemoth. But I started it and said, I'm going to take it at my own pace. If I don't like it, I'm going to drop it. I watched it, really enjoyed from episode 2. I enjoyed it as soon as Kobe left. And I don't think that's a problem to say since that's, what, first volume, first 2-3 episodes. Come on, you have probably seen that, and that's not much of a spoiler. And his voice in the dub, the anime dub, was just a nightmare. I hated it so much, I almost dropped it at the very start. But as soon as he left, I enjoyed it more. That's a controversial take, I can assume. But don't get me wrong, I love Kobe now. But that's besides the point. I continued watching One Piece over the next 3 weeks, and then eventually it took me about a month and a half, and then I caught up to One Piece. Yeah, I'm caught up to One Piece. I started July 12th, I think, right before I started the channel, and whoo, it was such a good show, and I'm just going to talk about it right here. So the first thing, before I start talking about how I enjoyed it, why I enjoyed it, I need to talk about the fact that Jake from Nerd Level Rising and I are going to be doing a discussion on Skypiea. And I'm going to set up how the live streaming thingy-mabob works. I actually did it once years ago. Somehow, I don't actually know how it happened, but I did it with a friend. And we were like, oh, that's cool! Beep, bop, boop. And clicked all the buttons and went, yay! But now I have lost all my foreknowledge, and it's gone out the other window. Yeah, that sucks. Anyways, One Piece. Where do I start? I'm going to talk about the power system, which means I can only talk about devil fruits. But devil fruits, only devil fruits that you start with, that's a lie. I'm going to talk about all the devil fruits. I'm kidding. But there are so many devil fruits in this series. It's like it's that stereotypical eat a thing, gain a power. It reminded me of that stupid Pac-Man show from whenever that aired. When did that air? Was that 2010? It was a very dumb Pac-Man show. I'll never go back and try to rewatch it. Where Pac-Man is the only guy who can take the berries from the super berry tree of life and eat them and gain powers whenever he feels like it. And I thought that was a cool idea. Maybe not the best show, best execution, but it was a really cool idea of, I eat this thing, I gain superpowers. Well, I mean, who doesn't like that? Especially if you play video games. Maybe if you don't. Like Mario. What does he do? He eats things, and he eats poisonous mushrooms, and then he becomes a fire-breathing maniac. I mean, come on. He's cool. But each person here, for example, I'm going to just go with the two people who are on the front cover. Luffy, eating the gum fruit, and becomes a rubber man. That's so cool. But also, I just love that motif of, or not that motif, it's not a motif, the naming scheme of gum fruit, the chop fruit. I know there's a different name, it's supposed to be gomu no mi, or whatever the hell it is in Japanese, but I'm not reading it in Japanese, I'm reading it in English. So it's the gum fruit to me, and it's the chop fruit to me. What does the gum fruit mean? You can stretch your body however much you like. Chop fruit, chop your body up as many times as you like and you won't die. But the trade-off is you can't swim. You can't be in water, pretty much, or you're going to lose all control of your senses. Or not senses, body parts. There we go. I thought the devil fruits were such a cool concept, and we had so many different... Oda, the author, has so many different ways of talking about it or using it in different ways. And how, for example, we are introduced to Luffy's foil, Buggy the Clown, and we see how Buggy the Clown chops himself up and is completely invulnerable to stabbing attacks, while Luffy, he's vulnerable to stabbing attacks. What? But on the other hand, Buggy is vulnerable to blunt attacks. Luffy is perfectly fine, because he's rubber. And it's that sort of dichotomy that that Oda is able to create so quickly. And it's awesome. And the way that he kind of slowly unravels things throughout the series, he slowly makes the series darker. He continuously gives darker elements, like human trafficking comes in at a certain point in the story. And that's a fairly dark topic. But regardless, Oda is still able to maintain a sense of optimism. And that's one of my favorite things. He's able to maintain optimism throughout all this. He's able to show some of the darkest stuff, but still have such a great outlook on life of, hey, look, things are gonna get dark. They get dark for everybody. But we gotta come out on top. We gotta be able to get better from this. We gotta be able to learn from it. And what I love is that Luffy is a flat character. He's an outright flat character, and I love that. He's still a dynamic character, but he's also a flat one. He's not a flat character. He has a flat character arc. That's a better way to phrase it. He's a very dynamic character, but he has a flat character arc. He doesn't change throughout the story. I mean, yeah, there are a couple ways in which he does change it. He gets stronger. This is a shonen battle manga. He gets stronger. He learns how to become a Super Saiyan or whatever. And yeah, it's shonen. It's gonna happen. But the way it's focused on how Luffy's super optimistic view of the world creates this form of... it impacts other people. For example, he wants everybody to be free, so if you infringe on somebody else's freedom, that's it. He's gonna get ticked off at you. And I love that. Another thing that I love is some of the themes that we see throughout the series. One of the very first themes we get is, what is treasure? I mean, we're gonna go on this giant journey to find something called the One Piece, which, originally, I thought we were going to know what the One Piece was immediately. I was so wrong. What the One Piece is one of the biggest mysteries of the entire series. Isn't that crazy? That's so ballsy, and I love it. But we see so many aspects of what is a treasure. So it's this start to the series that says, okay, before we go on this giant hunt for a treasure, what's treasure? What does it mean? And so Luffy says, this hat, his straw hat that you can see right here, I don't know, or right here. If you can see that, good for you. If you can't, look up Luffy. You'll see him with a straw hat on his head. Otherwise, it's not Luffy. Or he'll have it tied to his neck and on his back. But it doesn't matter. He has a straw hat. And by being able to... What was my train of thought? Oh my god, I lost it. Oh, there we go, treasure. And Luffy says, this hat is my treasure. That's awesome. And then we get to see this dog that says, this place is my treasure. Or rather, through his actions, shows that a particular place is his treasure. This is very early stuff, so I'm trying not to spoil many things. And I remember having seen so many different characters randomly. I'd see a character and I'd hear, this character from One Piece, and I'm like, huh, okay, shrug my shoulders and move on with my day. And now I'm going back and realizing, oh wow, any preconceived notion I had of this series is just being thrown out the other side of the window. And it's so cool. I loved how no matter what, Oda is able to shock me and surprise me, and I go, okay, I didn't expect you to do that. And so we start off with that treasure going, huh, what's a treasure? What does that mean to me? I know I've said that like 3 times. I'm sorry about that. And right after that, we start evolving into these greater themes of freedom and loyalty. Actually, loyalty's always there. Because Luffy has this tendency to be... He's not going to go out and be a hero. It's very clear. He's selfish. He's not a hero, and he's not a people pleaser. In fact, he steals from his friends, like a good friend should. Come on, tell me you haven't stolen from your friends. Not like, I stole cash from my friend. That's a problem. I'm talking, like, in humor, take something right in front of him and said, huh, I wonder where this sandwich went. Everybody's done that. Don't you lie to me. You've done it. But it's that idea of, oh, actually, he's more shameless. It's not like taking that sandwich and going, huh, what happened to the sandwich? No, he's taking the sandwich, eating it, and going, huh, what happened to the sandwich? Rather than just hiding it away. But it's he's such a fun character too. So he's carefree, and I think that's one of the best parts of this. It's that thing that I've started to notice in a lot of series where we place a lot of value of live right now, right here, and Luffy is the epitome of that. He is that thing that a lot of us want to strive for. Maybe not, but maybe yes. I don't know. And he's just always out to have a good time and to help his friends. And I think that's what really is so special about him as a character. Yeah, he has a couple flaws here and there, but they're part of that character, and he doesn't stop having those flaws. And because he doesn't stop having those flaws, it keeps him human. He's human, and so he's flawed. But on the other hand, he does have a lot of virtues, and those virtues are made very present, I think. I think that's the word. And it's, throughout the series, he's the epitome of freedom. He does whatever he wants, and I really identified with his ideas of, hey, look, I don't want to be a hero. Heroes are dumb. They give up everything to help other people. I don't care that much about other people. Like, what's gonna happen to that guy who's 100 miles away and he was just murdered? Brutal thing to think of, but I couldn't do anything about it. So, what am I supposed to do about it? I'm sitting here. Should I worry about it? I said 100 miles away. That actually, maybe I should be a little bit more worried if it's 100 miles away. How about 10,000 miles away? That's much better. 10,000 miles away. What am I gonna do? There's not much for me to do, so why worry about it? Now, if it can affect me and my family, now we've got a problem, we gotta worry about it a little bit. And it's that specialness of he's self-contained, he's selfish, and at the same time he's kind, because to everyone around him, he's willing to help them out. I love that part. I love that part of the story so much, and how he's willing to go to hell and back for his friends. It's so good, and I am trying to get away from spoilers. The only thing that I really disliked about this series is a particular character, and I won't say who the character is, but is it the 5th or 6th saga? It's I think it's about the 6th saga of the series, and there's this one purple-haired piece of crap. I hate him. I hate him so much because he's evil. He's a good guy. He's supposed to be a good guy. But he doesn't act it. I mean, yeah, he helps Luffy. Sure. But this guy does the most evil stuff that when I saw it in the anime, I kind of looked at that and went, if I were the guy on the other end, or if I were the victim of this purple-haired monster, and I think he's a monster, by the way. Not saying his followers are monsters, but he's so cruel. He's vicious. What do I mean? Actually, I'm not going to say that. That's a spoiler. But he does things to his enemies that I'm just thinking, the poor guy, he did something to a soldier. And I sat there, watched the guy, and watched Purple Hair Man attack a poor soldier and change the soldier's very being. Like, who he's supposed to be. Or who you think he thought of him, or how he thought of himself. And I'm sitting there looking and going, oh my god, this guy's evil! How is he supposed to be framed as a good guy? And I think a lot of people love him too. I don't get it. I'm hoping that there is a certain point that Jake from Nerd Level Rising and I can talk about this particular character, because I will go on a rant. I hate this character. Because I'm looking at the victim and going, oh my god, I would have sworn vengeance on this purple-haired man. So, just as soon as he did this to me. Vengeance! And nothing could stop me. I'd be so angry. But, again, I'm not saying it but for those of you who know, I'm going to give you the nickname of this character. It's Eva. You know who that is. If you don't, you don't. And I think that's about all I have to say about One Piece, because otherwise I'd just sit here for another hour and gush about specifics. That's when you've got me. If I can start talking specifics. And that's what I'm going to do Monday the something or rather. I don't know. It's like a week or two from now. It's a Saturday. I'm not supposed to be allowed to think right now. And so what's going to happen is next week is going to be a To Ride Hell's Chasm review alongside alongside Dirge for Cascas. Because I want to parallel those two mystery novels. And then right after that is going to be a Fool's Assassin review. I'm reading that right now. Just as a little hint, it's Robin Hobb. I'm obsessed. I love that book so much, and I can tell you it's going to destroy me. Anyways, that should be the same week that I have my discussion with Jake from Nerd Level Rising. I don't know why I keep saying Jake from Nerd Level Rising, but I'm just going to keep calling him Jake from Nerd Level Rising until I just call him Jake. Probably because we have two different Jakes on BookTube, don't we? We have Jake Minton, he's Jacob Minton. That's not as bad now that I think about it. We don't have two Jakes. What else? I think that's about it. That I can think of in Foresight. Oh, and if you're wondering, if you can see those, I'm so happy about those books, by the way. If you can see those books, that is the warning that this shelf needs to change. It's overflowing. I want to give some of these more beautiful books a spotlight, and things are just going to have to move around, so you're going to have to stick with me. The bookshelf is going to change, and it's going to keep changing, and I'm going to keep innovating on it because I love this bookshelf, and it will not stay the same so long as I live. Anyways, that's all I have to say for One Piece. For now, that is. I have so much more One Piece talk in me. And, yeah. I hope you all have a great day. See ya!